Hey guys, it's Nimestacker back with you for part 2 of the video that I started a couple of videos ago. So if you hunt back 2 videos, you'll see the one about the random sovereigns that arrived, and it's all about using nectar points. I know you guys over in the States don't have nectar points, you have ebates and all this kind of stuff, so just let me explain what they are. It's just a kind of loyalty card where you spend money and you get points on your nectar card. eBay in the UK have tied up with nectar so that every pound that you spent gives you 1 nectar point normally. When they have a special offer, you get 10 nectar points instead of 1 nectar point. So you can, and then each 500 points gives you £2.50, which is about $3.25 these days off of your eBay shopping, or you can use it in other ways as well. Anyway, so what I've done is I have got another delivery here with, I think it's either 6 or 8 random sovereigns. So spent quite a lot of money on these. They were a very good price anyway from Pinehurst Coins, but I figured that the nectar points on them would be absolutely worthwhile. So in theory, and I'll tell you the way it went at some stage later, in theory the idea is I could buy all of these sovereigns. If there were any particularly good ones, then I'd keep those and grade them. If they were all regular ordinary sovereigns, then I would take them back to London and I would sell them for probably in pound terms just a few pounds more per coin than I paid. So by selling them for a few pounds more than I paid, that kind of gets me my money back effectively. And then as an extra bonus, I get the 10 times nectar points on each one of these. So as you can see, I bought 10, 11, 12 sovereigns, all of which I can sell basically for what I paid for them. I use topcashback.com, so that gives me 1% back as well on everything I paid. And then the bottom line is that I got 8 really lovely sovereigns. In fact, I wouldn't mind keeping some of these, but I probably will let them go. They are all the Jubilee Head sovereigns, and somebody must have had a little collection of Jubilee Head sovereigns that Pinehurst Coins bought. Because they're all different days. Some are Australian, some are London Mint, but they've all got the little I'm Queen Victoria and I can balance a small crown on my head portrait, which was known as the Jubilee portrait. Started in 1887 and then ran for a few years after that before the veiled head portrait took over. And a lot of these are in pretty good condition. They're really nice coins, but then again, a lot of these Jubilee Head sovereigns are in good condition. They were never really circulated. It was at the time in Victoria's reign where a lot of these things, interestingly, I did read up somewhere that the half sovereign was much more circulated than the full sovereign, and then a lot of the full sovereigns got stored in banks. The average life expectancy of one of these coins was about a maximum of 15 years if it was in circulation. So a lot of the early ones were in circulation, they rotated them, they melted them down. That's why there's so few of some of the early dates. And in fact, when you look at sovereign mintages, generally, you can have a coin that has millions of coins minted, and quite often they can still be rare because so many sovereigns got circulated, used, rotated, melted, and were used to make new sovereigns. So very happy with the coins that I got from Pinehurst. Interesting coins. I think if I was going to be buying and keeping these and collecting them, I'd actually be really pleased with the random coins that I got. And in a way a little bit more interesting than some of the coins that are more recent. The first lot of random coins I got from them were George V. One of them was a South African, the other 2 were Australian and London Mint 1913. And then these are all between 1887 and 1894, 1898, something like that. but pretty nice to have in your collection anyway, and certainly pretty good value when bought at a random price. So as I said, I reckon I can sell these, and then the end product that I was going to tell you about is that I got $250 of nectar points by buying all those sovereigns. Okay, so what did I do with my $250 of nectar points? And well, you'll see. I went to bullion exchanges on eBay, and I wanted to find something a little bit more interesting, and also a random coin, because the random coins have that little bit of extra kind of percentage off of them, so they can be very good value. So the one I chose from eBay, they had one coin left, and it was a 2 sovereign proof random gold coin. They're around, maybe they're on their own in a capsule, they may have been in a set, somebody took the set apart, or sometimes they can be on their own. This particular one was the last one that bullion exchanges had in stock on eBay at the time in their random collection. And so I didn't know what year it was, I didn't know anything about it apart from it was probably going to be a fairly modern random sovereign. It was about $650, and I used about $250 of credit from buying all the other random sovereigns. So the net cost of this sovereign was about $400 and something, which is amazing value. And it's not a bad coin. It looks as if it would benefit a little bit from a little NCS conservation tender loving care. So my plan is to present it in an NGC slab, have it conserved, and give it a little bit more of a presentational value. And then either I'll keep it in my collection or I'll then sell it. And I think that overall, the eBay promotion and the buying of random sovereigns should probably net a reasonable return. And it's always like a personal challenge to see whether you can actually get value from eBay when you get these special offers. And it's actually not entirely easy. The best choices, I think, are probably the random sovereigns and also the bullion choice of the day, maybe the 1 ounce bullion, because quite often you get a Canadian maple or an American eagle or some other special deal on a 1 ounce gold coin at no more than $25 to $35 over spot. And I think when you have one of these special promotions, either on Nectar or on ebates, those can often be the best ones to go for, because you can then pick up gold at under spot with the benefit of these extra promotions. So hope you like that, and that completes the circle and tells you exactly what I did with all of those Nectar points.